Okay, so everyone's gonna now look at me and go, "Oh my God, Chris, your hair!" Yeah, I know. Like, what am I ever going to do? I will never get a job with any agent in all of Hollywood because my hair isn't cut as short as a Marine Corps recruiting poster. Oh my God, what will ever happen? Well, none of them are going to represent me anyway. None of them will ever work with me anyway, so who bloody cares? Okay, now about hair, one of the things you have to actually think about seriously, and one of the biggest mistakes ever made in the film and movie television industry, is never cater to the business crowd. Okay? The reason that is this isn't US talking, this is world talking. Okay? What happens if you get your hair cut to here, and walk into that agent in America who has to see a man in short hair, who has to know this, and you got auditioned for something like Game of Thrones. And you walk in as a wildling. And the first thing the makeup lady does is throw her hands up in the air. Because your hair is cut too short. Which means she either needs to add extensions or a wig. Now yes, wigs are used a lot in the film industry. One thing that wigs can't really do very effectively is create blown natural hair in the middle of a snow or rain or windstorm. Which is why quite often makeup ladies, especially in England, in Italy, in France, look at you and say, "Stop doing this." Okay? Stop. Just flat stop. Okay? If we want to cut your hair, we'll cut your hair. That's why I always let makeup cut my hair and decide how I'm going to look for that film. Okay? Now, unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to cut this because I'll have to find another job within about a month or so, and I'll have to cater to the American business crowd. But that's neither here nor there. Okay? That's just a quick thing. Now, what are we going to talk about today? We are going to talk about makeup. Everyone's favorite subject. Okay? Now, my best friend, director Mario Bava, once said, the reason why I got into makeup is because of people like this. They created the Pons Institute. And he would sit there and he would read from the package, guaranteed to remove all makeup problems. Can you imagine this? Formulated by the Pons Institute, an entire institute of people designed to clean up my makeup mistakes. Can you imagine that? So no matter what happens, you have Pons, and Pons will fix everything. Okay? So this is one of the fun things about makeup. Now, in makeup design, I am basically a very, very beginning student. Okay? I am nowhere near the caliber of the extreme experts that worked on me. I did learn a little bit from them, and that was 30 plus years ago, but I am nowhere near as good as they are. Okay, I just want to make sure everyone understands that right off the bat. Okay, I am not that good. They are. I am not. Now, you have several things about makeup. There are several different types of makeup jobs done to a person's face. We will look at the basic simples. You have coloring. Coloring is a little bit beyond the scope of what I'm going to do here. Coloring is what every girl does before she gets out of bed and goes to work or goes to school. Coloring is just what it is. It's coloring your face with different shades of makeup. The second type is additive. The third type is subtractive. Then of course you have the additive subtractive, which I'll get into in a moment. Now we're going to take the subtractive first, because that sounds the funniest thing on earth. How can you subtract from your face? Okay? Is it even possible? Well, how this happens is your face is made up of skin and muscles and bone. And your skin is pliable. It moves around on your face. And every time you move it into a different position, you change the look of your face. So one of the things you can do is you can take an actor with like a small chin and a small jawline, and you can copy his entire chin and jaw in foam latex rubber. Then you can take someone with a slightly larger chin, and you can put this tiny chin jawline onto him, and it'll glue right there like a suction cup. And while it's doing that, it's pushing the skin back. And that's subtractive makeup, because you're altering the positions of the skin and reducing the facial structure and the facial surface. Okay? There's another form of it, but we'll get into that in a moment. Additive is just what it sounds like. Additive makeup. Okay? You're placing makeup on top of your face in layers, and you're changing the structure of your face with that. Now this is just silly putty. Okay? One of the things we found when working a lot with silly putty is that one of the problems is when you sweat, when you do a lot of heavy motion, it can fall off your face. Okay? Now, this is the first time I've done this in a long time, and I may not be doing this to the best of my abilities. And this is the first time I'm trying to do this on camera, so I may make a few mistakes here. But this is the basic thing of silly putty. Now, you might say, okay, now you have silly putty on your cheek, so what? Well, then you would, of course, cover this with a form of base makeup. Well, what I was saying with silly putty is sometimes it will fall off. What we found in a basic simple, which anybody can do, because this is makeup ideas that you could even do for Halloween. You can create an effect of additive makeup out of silly putty, which you can pick up at a regular hobby store for like $2. And you can say, well, what do I do to keep it from falling from my face? You take Elmer's glue. You back a little bit of Elmer's glue onto the putty and onto your face, and this will attach it better and keep it more secure. And then when you peel it off, you're peeling off the Elmer's glue and the putty. And it's non-toxic, it's safe, it's simple, there's no harmful effects from it, and it's quite easy, and it works. There are a lot more advanced methods. If you went with a company like smoothon.com, which I get some of the advanced rubbers for my silicone casting, that kind of thing, then you can get into better makeup effects. Okay, there are liquid rubbers, liquid latex, where you can do entire faces, you can do half faces, partial faces, you can do anything and all and just change all sorts of looks and effects. Okay, now one of the things we worked on was noses. Now this is quick and crude and without a mirror. Okay? And now I have silly putty on my nose. But what is this doing? This is changing the ethnicity of my face. By doing this, I can make myself look more Italian from a Scotch-Irish nose. Because you can flatten the nose, you can reduce the point, and you can bring it to a sharp point below the face. Which I may not have accomplished here, but you get the idea. And that is some things about makeup and makeup special effects. Thank you for watching. I'm going to do a few more of these in the future.